Well, hello. Hello. How are you?
Hello.
Lovely to see you. Thank you, Marie-Louise. Thank you, Natalie, for coming on today. And so pleased that you're going to be delivering the workshop on the 9th of July, all about the anatomy of a newsletter, which all sounds very intriguing. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what that's going to involve. But I just wanted to give today as a bit of a taster as to what you're going to be talking about and a bit of intro of yourselves as well for anybody that isn't familiar with who you are and the fantastic work you do. So Marie-Louise, quick intro from you, please, first. Let's do that.
Sure. So I specialise in design and branding and something called Canva. Yes, I designed your Ignite logo and have been involved with various things to support your business and marketing and stuff from the design point of view. And so I will be discussing things from the more kind of branding side of things, of like how to help people make sure that their newsletters are on brand and lots of tips around that, but also practical things that they can take into consideration around using Canva, again, to create graphics and imagery that they can use to prettify their newsletter. So that's where I sort of come in. And just a bit about me, I'm a trained designer and I've been doing it for many, many years now, good over 16 years. So although I'm, talking about something called Canva, I'm using my branding and design knowledge to make sure that you guys who come along to it get the most out of it.
I like that technical word of the day, prettify.
Prettify, yeah.
Prettify. So, and I know there's a lot of fear, particularly people like myself, and I'm not creative at all, as you very well know. But Canva is actually really easy to use. So any hints and tips that you can give with prettifying newsletters, I know is going to be very welcome, because using graphic design packages can be a little bit intimidating for those of us who just don't have that skill set. So that's going to be fun. Thank you, Marie-Louise. Natalie, over to you, if I may.
Thank you very much, Kathryn. I'm Natalie Trembecki. I'm a copywriter and my business is Writer for You. I've been copywriting for a few years now, and my real skill and what I want to share on the day is to do with communicating and understanding how you get your message across to your audience. So identifying who it is you want to talk to in this newsletter that you're sending out as a business owner, thinking about whether they're your clients or just people that you want to talk to in your network, who they are, what they're interested in, and how you can help them. So then when it comes to the newsletter, I'll be able to help you kind of identify those messages, help you think about how to structure your newsletter so that you don't just get scared by the fact you've got a blank page in front of you. Because I know that's how a lot of us feel when we need to get down to write something. We have all these ideas and it just kind of getting something out there can feel like a really big job. But if we create some things that become a backbone, hopefully we can make it a lot easier for you to kind of do this without getting scared.
And we're all guilty of having writer's block, aren't we, when it comes to writing a newsletter? And writing a newsletter, I suppose, is a bit like writing a story. You need a beginning, a middle, and an end. Mm-hmm. And I think there's a bit of a misconception with newsletters that they're just there to sell. Which, we do want to use that as a basis to promote something that we might be selling or working on or whatever it might be. But it's how you put that across. And so you've just used the term backbone, which I really like. So for me, in my head, the newsletter has got to have a header. So we're talking about the body of a newsletter, and then it's got to have legs. So it's a bit like a skeleton, which brings me nicely to a graphic that I thought would be quite useful to share. And just very briefly, if you guys could just talk us through the different elements that you're going to be covering as part of that anatomy of a newsletter. So let me bring that up now. So, right, we've got planning, we've got branding, we've got templates. So I can see a brain around planning, I can see two heads about branding, and I can see a skeleton about template. Yeah. So what are all of these things meaning? What are we going to learn about all of this on the day?
Well, we thought we would break down this concept into some key component parts that you can see here. because you don't just blindly go in. I mean, you can just create a newsletter out of nothing, but as you said, that kind of blank page mentality of kind of the fear of what to do. So we've tried to break it down to help you consider the different aspects to make sure that you get the best out of setting up a newsletter, or continuing with a newsletter if you've started one and then kind of dropped that concept, whether it's overwhelm, all of those things.
And it's about not overthinking it as well, I suppose, isn't it, to a certain extent, with the brain power behind it?
Well, you can do a bit of thinking. I guess it's about having a bit of a plan, about thinking about what the purpose of the newsletter is. So that sort of what Natalie was touching on earlier about who are you writing this for is really important.
And also thinking about as a business what you're trying to communicate more generally, so that you kind of have an idea that from 1 month to the next you're telling a story that makes sense, rather than just kind of randomly talking about whatever floats into your head on the day that you sit down at your desk. Because some of us, if we don't plan, and it happens very easily, we'll just kind of not know what to say. We'll sit down, we'll write something, but when you're communicating with somebody, it means that you're not getting a consistent, coherent message on an ongoing basis. The planning part of this will help you pull things together, think about who you're writing to, and create something that going forwards means that you've got some kind of consistency. So that's where the planning comes in. Marie-Louise has already talked about the branding, which is really important to make it recognizable, help people understand who you are and what it is you're trying to help with. And
consistency, isn't it, to get that brand out there?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then the template will be talking about ways to kind of make it as simple as possible by kind of having, again, consistency and different elements in there that you can always know you're going to use. We're just trying to make it easy.
And it's the component parts as well of the newsletter itself. So looking at it, you've got the subject line, you've got the header, different sort of areas within the design itself, and what the different purposes are for the newsletter, and why are they there. And of course, Natalie will be talking about sort of making suggestions on how to, wording and kind of subject lines and all of that, sort of some of the writer science behind it.
Yes.
And it all's going to come together to be able to make sure that, you can build this successful newsletter. Hopefully simplify it, because you've got all these parts that kind of build in together.
But it's also stopping the readers from going, oh, not another newsletter, delete, because this is going to form something that's a little bit different, that it is going to be consistency, as you say, that is going to be building on your brand, that is going to tell a story in a number of, say, chapters, as opposed to just one random newsletter. And it is going to show you how you can brand it, what sort of wording you can use, all of that. And as you say, all the component parts. And I think the beauty of this next workshop that you guys are helping with is that this is going to be interactive as well, isn't it? We're not just going to sit and listen to you two, as much as it's lovely listening to you two talk, but there's some interaction as well. I believe we've got a worksheet that we'll be working through. Is that right?
That's the plan.
Hey, excellent. Hands-on as well.
Yep.
Okay.
And just, we don't want to just go through and talking at people for the duration. So there is a lot of knowledge that we want to get through. We've been working hard planning this for a while now. And we want to make sure that you can really get involved by understanding, get a bit of brainstorming and things like that. So we have factored that into it as well.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Brilliant. And I think also one very last thing is that if anybody wants to come and work with you, whether it's on their newsletter or any branding or other word type things, content, then I'm sure you're going to be able to share your details after the event as well. So hopefully you've got that ready as well, although I can see there's already some info on yours, Natalie. So she's always there, always there. See, there's the wordsmith. So, all right, well, listen, thank you so much for dropping into this quick message and this quick information soundbite as to what's going to happen on the 9th of July at 10 o'clock till 12 o'clock. So 2 hours of really good interaction and a fabulous way to do a newsletter. So something that people can take away. So I'm really looking forward to it. And I'll see you on the 9th of July. Thank you very much.
Thank you.